Hey everyone, my name is Exotic Gaming and welcome back to the channel. As you know, I love playing PUBG Mobile and recently I was looking for a better experience playing the game. I figured out you can play it on your computer completely free. So, I decided today to make a tutorial explaining how you can get PUBG Mobile on your PC and Mac fast and easily. I hope you enjoy. Before this video starts, please do not comment something stupid like, why did you not just get the full PC version off of Steam? Because that costs money. I know that that version exists, but some people can't pay for it. Please don't be stupid. Thank you. Anyways, if this video helps you, please consider leaving a like down below and share this video around so more people can learn how to play the game on their PC and Mac as well. Also, subscribe for some more PUBG Mobile content. I made an ultimate tips and tricks guide a few days ago on my channel, and it was easily one of the best videos I've ever created. Link in description. With that being said, let's jump into this. And whether you are on PC or Mac, what you are going to do first is open up your web browser, open up Google, type in Memu if you are on a PC, and then type in Nox App Player if you are on Mac. You're going to click the first link that appears regardless if you are on PC or Mac. If you are on your PC, you're going to click download right here. If you are on Mac, most likely all you will need to do is click download and then it will automatically detect that you are on a Mac and it will download the .dmg file. But if it starts downloading a .exe file, you should probably just click the Mac version and then that way it will actually install a .dmg file for you that will run on your Mac. Obviously, since I am on a Windows computer, I'm going to click the download button right here and that will install a Windows version of this program on my computer. It's going to install these both on my computer and you don't have to worry about any viruses with either of these programs because they do not come with any viruses at all. If your antivirus software comes up with a virus, it's wrong. Viruses do not come with this program. I have one of the best antivirus softwares on my computer, and it does not detect anything. So you're good installing both of these programs. And eventually, Memu is going to be installed onto your computer. I'm going to click Launch right now, and it's going to launch our Android emulator so we can play PUBG Mobile on our computer. Essentially, what we are going to be doing is playing against people who are on Android because we're technically using an Android device. Eventually, after it finishes installing, you click the launch button and it should appear on this screen right here. This is the main screen of your Android emulator and you're only one step away now from being able to install PUBG Mobile. Obviously, you are going to need an Android Google account just because it's just like any other Android emulator or Android period. So what I would recommend doing is using your same Google account that you already have. Or if not, what you can do is you can just go over to Google on your browser and create a Google account. I would choose a username and a password that you remember. Be very important to do that because several times you might have to re-verify this account on Memu because each time you exit out of it, it's almost like powering down your Android and you might have to re-enter that username and password. So you don't want to forget that. After you create that Google account, write it down somewhere, maybe on your phone, maybe on an actual piece of paper, and that way you can go back to it if you ever have to sign back in with it. I'm going to use my regular Gmail account, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to full screen this right now. I'm going to open up the Play Store, but obviously I need to sign into that Google account. So I'm going to sign into that right now, and at this point in time, I am now signed into my Google account. Now, I would recommend unchecking the backup and restore option on the sign up process just because you probably don't want to install a ton of other programs on your Android device. If you're only focusing on playing PUBG Mobile on your computer, you would obviously just want to have that program. You don't even want to have stuff like this, so you can uninstall these two ads, and then that way you can be focused on just PUBG Mobile. So open up the Play Store. And then obviously what you're going to want to do is type in PUBG Mobile. Click the install button, click accept, and click proceed. Again, the great thing about this is it's just using Google like any other Android device, so you don't have to worry about any security issues with this. You're using the Google Play Store and regular Google to sign in. So, I mean, if you have a problem with Google, I don't know what to tell you. You're using a YouTube account right now, and that's run by Google as well. So you probably shouldn't have a YouTube account if you have any issues with Google having your passwords. So You're just using Google, everything is good. We're going to wait for this to install now, and then I'm going to show you how to set it up on your computer. Now, before we finish installing this, there is something I should note. If you do decide to create a new account on Google, you might have some verification problems, but they aren't permanent. So what you want to do is you want to re-verify it via the Android emulator itself. If it comes up with something saying authentication required, there will be a little error that appears on the top bar right here. So on this darker green colored bar where my mouse is, you would click and drag it down, and then there would be something that says something like reauthorize accounts. You're going to click on that, and then all you would need to do is put in the phone number that you used to sign up, just reauthorize it using that, and then that way you could actually get that to work and you can install the program. So we're going to click the open button right here, and as you can see, there are a lot of things that are already set up, and that's the cool thing about Memu, is it automatically sets up a lot of the buttons that you might need. Now, this isn't permanent, and this might not be set up perfectly for PUBG, so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to jump into the warm-up area and explain exactly how you're going to go about setting up everything perfectly to suit your needs. But the best thing is you can change the key bindings just like you would be able to do on a regular PC game. You can change to whatever you would like, and it's great in that respect. I'm going to click the guest button right here. We're going to wait for this to load up. This is my first time loading this up, so we're going to have to click the accept and click OK. We're going to create a nickname, so I'm going to type in probably exotic on PC. I feel like that would be a pretty good one. I'm not going to bother changing my character's look at this point in time. We're just going to get onto the main screen. So I clicked the create button, and now I'm on the main screen right here. We are now playing PUBG Mobile on our computer. I'm on the North American server. Obviously, it's going to update depending on where you are in the world. I'm going to go into a solo match right here, and in the warm-up area, I'm just going to set everything up. Obviously, if it doesn't have a lot of time left in the warm-up area, you want to be able to set up your buttons just so right at the moment, you would be able to do the parachute button and your movement, and then after you land, then you can set things up a little bit more. But as you can see, all of these things are set up basically right on the buttons, so that's really cool. Now, what you would want to do is click this little button right here, and then it's going to look like this. What you do is you click these arrows going outward, and then make sure that this is somewhere on your screen. It's right here, and it's probably going to be a different button, so right-click right on the center, and that way when you click save, and then click save, and then go exit back out, if you right-click on your screen, it's going to automatically disappear with your mouse, and when you move your mouse, it's going to move this. So obviously, all the buttons are transparent. After you figure out the controls, you can change that, but I'm going to press E to jump out. I'm going to jump out to a sparsely inhabited area just to show you guys some of the stuff around here, and it's going to be good. When you release your parachute, it's the same as your shooting button, just like any other PC game. You would go click the left mouse click button. And just like with the mobile version, you can change your graphics depending on how it runs on your computer. If you have a computer that it doesn't run very well on, maybe you're going to want to change that. But after you land, we're going to go pick up a gun, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what you're going to want to do. So we're going to run over here right now. We're going to jump through the window, see if we can pick up a gun, and I can show you guys some basic stuff here. So you can press F or G to pick stuff up. You can actually just do H, I guess, if you wanted to click just a specific thing. But you can definitely work through some of the controls, pick up stuff that you would need and not, and figure out exactly how stuff works as the matches go on. In the beginning, it might be a little weird, but over time, you're going to get used to it, and that's really the best part. And to actually aim, as you can see here, this is one of the things that Memu doesn't automatically have a button for. So I would actually put a button that would work well for aiming. So I would bring this over, and maybe for aiming, something like, I don't know, caps lock could work relatively well for aiming, just because, unfortunately, if you use your right click, it's not going to work like that. So click save, obviously something to get used to. And as you can see now, we're now aiming. We could shoot at some people if they happen to show up, and then click caps lock to exit the aiming menu. It's something to get used to, definitely. It's going to take a little bit of time, but overall, in the end, it works well. Now, the nice thing with PUBG Mobile is the fact that it automatically picks up a lot of stuff that you need. If it doesn't, then all you have to do is really just press the G button, and you're going to be good. Sometimes, if the movement of your mouse doesn't work, all you got to do is just right-click and then right-click again, and then it'll work again. It's a little buggy in that respect, but then again, you are playing a mobile version on your computer. Obviously, the mobile version is all touchscreen, and your computer isn't meant to do that, unless maybe you have, like, literally a touchscreen computer. So we would caps lock this again. Obviously, now we have a red dot sight, and yeah, it works pretty well in that respect. Here we have a person that we can shoot right here. And yeah, that's literally my first time ever trying it, and I got a kill. Even though it probably was a bot, it goes to show that you can do it. It will get taking some used to. Obviously, you're going to have to practice, but in general, it's going to work. So that's the most important thing. And you can do some pretty cool stuff playing now on your computer. It works great. Just be warned, you are probably going to have to right-click and then un-right-click a lot of times when you do play this. I've noticed that a lot of the times it just stops working in that respect. It's not really that big of a deal, it's just something you're going to have to be used to. And in time, as you play, you're going to get more used to it. So it's not really that big of a deal. Just expect that sometimes, maybe after you aim, it's just not going to work the same way. And then all you need to really do at that point is right-click and then right-click again. And then that way you will actually get everything to work. Now, if you're looking for a more immersive experience, as I have right here without all the buttons here, what you can actually do is right-click, then go click the keyboard button, and then turn off the display. And that way, obviously, not all the buttons will appear, and it'll look a little bit better. So you can caps lock this again and shoot some people. Obviously, maybe caps lock isn't the most ideal button for aiming. I just chose a temporary one. It works all right. It's definitely better than some other ones, but make sure you choose a button that isn't already taken up in the list of buttons that you already have for the game. So it works, and that's the most important thing. Now, with all this being said, we basically got everything covered for the PC aspect of this tutorial. I hope this helped. If this did, I'd really appreciate it if you left a like down below. I apologize if at any point, maybe at some point, I didn't make sense with the tutorial. I tried my best. I'm very sick. It's really hard to commentate, but I wanted to get this video out there so you guys could install this onto your computer. I hope this helped. Please leave a like, subscribe for some more PUBG Mobile videos, and with that being said, let's jump into the Mac tutorial. Now, eventually, you're going to get Nox installed onto your computer. Obviously, if you are on Mac, there might be just a slightly different installation, but it's going to work just the same. I would uncheck this if you already have this on your computer, but if you already have it on your computer, you don't have to worry about the installation process. I'm going to override it just because I want to get it back to the way it regularly was when I first installed this on my computer, just the way you guys do as well. So we're going to wait for this to install. We're going to click Start, and it's going to start up Nox App Player. We're going to make this full screen if we so desire. We're probably going to have to wait until this thing fully loads up in order to full screen it. Obviously, that's going to be more ideal. It's going to make the game a little bit bigger and a little bit easier to use. So full screen that, and eventually we're going to have the Play Store appear. Now, what I would do is I would use regular Google. I would use your regular Google accounts, so I'm going to click the existing one. The best thing is you're just using Google to sign in, so there's really not any worry about any security issues in that respect. If you are so worried that Google might take your data, what you can do is you can create a new Google account just by going up to Google and literally typing in create an account. Obviously, you're going to want to choose a username and a password that you remember. Make sure you remember that because you're probably going to have to sign into it several times before you actually finally get the game onto your computer. And you might have to keep signing back into it because each time you exit out of Nox App Player, it's basically essentially turning off your device. It's not just like turning it off by pressing the button, but it's actually like resetting your device. So keep that in mind. So open up the Play Store, and what you're going to do is sign into a Google account. So you're not going to click on that Play Store button, but you're going to click on this one right here. We're going to click the existing one, and I'm going to type in my Google accounts. And after I sign in, I'll show you guys what you're going to want to do next. Now, a lot of the time, it might come up with this message right here where you couldn't sign in and you might have to sign in on the web. That doesn't really mean anything. It's not really that big of a deal. And we're going to go through a two-step verification for my particular account just to make sure it is me when I sign in. I have this extra security just because I don't want people signing into my accounts. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then we can actually access the Play Store. What I would recommend doing is unchecking the backup and restore, and then the communication buttons. Doesn't really matter too much, especially if you're using an existing account. But at this point in time, what you can do is you can type in PUBG Mobile. Click the first link that appears, and install PUBG Mobile onto your computer. It's going to install just like it would on a regular Android device, and you are using your regular Android device essentially with this, so it's great. It's going to take a second to start installing, and yeah, you're going to install it onto your computer. Sometimes the Play Store might crash, but that's not really that big of a deal. If you go up to the top bar right here and click and drag down, it'll say how long it takes for it to install. It's a big file, so it'll probably take around 3 to 5 minutes to install, but in the end, it will be worth it. Eventually, you're going to get a notification that says successfully installed PUBG Mobile, which is great. So now you can open up PUBG Mobile and you will now have the game on your computer. The best thing is, as you can see, there are a lot of buttons that are already laid out on your screen. So obviously, we're probably going to have to change a couple of those things in order to suit our needs. So what we're going to do is wait for this to load up. We're going to click on the guest button. I mean, if you wanted to sign in with Facebook, you probably can. I'm just going to click on guest just because this is obviously not going to be my main account. I'm going to click accept. We're going to click OK. You're going to type in a nickname. I'm going to type in exotic on Mac. You can choose whatever you want for your facial features if this is going to be your main account. And now you have PUBG Mobile on your Mac. Obviously, as I said, I am doing this installation tutorial on a PC, but it works just the same on a Mac. So what I'm going to actually do is go into solo and then show you guys a brief rundown of how it works. You're probably going to have to change some stuff up depending on exactly how your keyboard is laid out and what is comfortable for you. But the good thing is, since you can customize all of your button layouts, you can do it to exactly how you envision it to run best. Now, obviously, some of the buttons are currently not ideal, and after we land on the ground, we're going to be able to set that up. At this point in time, right now, before you actually land on the ground, you can click with your left mouse and drag around to exactly how you need. Obviously, you're only going to need a couple of buttons before you land on the ground. I'm going to land in a very sparsely inhabited area just so I can kind of loot in peace, show you guys some of the basic features in peace before we actually just get immediately wrecked by an enemy. So, E is jump. We can do that. And then we can use our W key to go down faster to the ground. I'm going to land at a small house somewhere over here, farther away from some enemy players. And we've just landed. Hopefully nobody else lands right here. Doesn't look like we have anybody else. There might be some people down in there, so we're going to be alright at least for the moment. Now, as you can see, F is to open doors. I just want to get inside here with at least a weapon. So now we can actually set up some more things. Now you can actually click on the little keyboard button up here at the top right to add in different keys. So some of these things are not actually set up yet, so I would probably put a V for our voice control, and then T for our microphone. Maybe for our chats, we could probably put something like, I don't know, maybe U. That could probably be a good button. What you want to do is when you're setting this up, make sure you don't choose a button that's already set. So maybe in other games you've played, you can use tab for chats, but as you can see, if you click tab, it's also going to open up your backpack. So that's going to screw things up, and you're not going to be able to use the game properly. Now, very importantly, what you're going to want to do is obviously make it so you can aim to shoot at an enemy. I only have my pistol right now, and I got myself my first kill. Pretty cool. But what you're going to want to do in order to aim is open up your keyboard once again. Click and drag this to be somewhere on your screen. This is very important because obviously you don't want to have to click and hold down your mouse in order to change your viewpoints. If you click and drag this to the center of your screen somewhere, when you right click one time, it's going to make it so your mouse actually controls how your player looks. Then, what you would probably do is set up maybe, I don't know, caps lock as a potential button to aim your gun. It's not ideal, and maybe you can actually set up a different selection of programs in order to find one that actually works the best. But now, at this point in time, I can click caps lock to actually aim my gun. I can use my mouse to move around my character's viewpoints. I don't have to worry about holding down the left mouse click in order to do this, and it works very well. It works very well. Obviously, with other buttons, it works pretty similar to your other games. I can actually get out my crossbow. If I wanted to switch between my guns, I can click 1 and 2. Caps lock to aim. Left click to shoot. Pretty standard stuff, spacebar to jump, and other stuff like that. Here we have somebody with a car. Oh, he's gonna get out? I don't know if I can hit this guy. See if I can aim. Come on. Hey, crossbow for the win. There we go. There's another guy that's right here. One shot. Come on. Let's finish off with that crossbow kill. And there we go. There's another guy that's right over here. Long range crossbow kill. There's another. So with all this being said, guys, I think you can probably get the whole basic understanding of how this works. One quick thing to explain is if you don't want all of these buttons here on your screen, what you can actually do is when you right-click and go over to your keyboard, you can change the opacity of the button. So you can actually change it all the way down to none. And obviously, I don't want to do that because I don't know the button for drive. So at this point in time, guys, I think you guys get the whole basic general idea of exactly how you get this to work. I don't know how to get out of my car. I have to click this button right here. I don't have a button for exit, but I believe there was an airdrop that was somewhere right around here, and if nobody looted it, I'm going to try to get the stuff that's from inside. And with that being said, guys, that's basically it. I'm in the heat of a little battle right here with this guy. I don't know if I'm gonna come out of this alive. Oh, there's one shot. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Hey, there we go. 5 kills. Not bad. So yeah, with that being said, guys, there's another airdrop that's right over here. I already looted one that was over in this direction, and I got myself the MK14. So I'm just going to travel over in this one. Maybe I can find somebody else. I already have 5 kills. I'm very happy about that. But with that being said, that's basically it. I think we've covered everything we needed to cover. I hope this tutorial helped you guys. It was really difficult making this tutorial, so I'd really appreciate it a lot if it did help you, if you left a like down below. My throat is absolutely killing me, so it was really hard trying to make this tutorial sounding as good as I possibly could. And I think it turned out pretty good in the end. So thank you all for watching, guys. I don't think we're going to get one last kill before the end of the video. Doesn't really look like there's anybody around. That's unfortunate, but not really that big of a deal. Maybe if you guys wanted to see more PC gameplay, I can make an actual whole gameplay video, or maybe even a live stream in the near future. So, yeah, with that being said, thank you all for watching, guys, and I'll see you all in the next episode.